Hey guys, it's Eric and Karina.
HR.
And the landlord.
Welcome back to the Late Podcast. The law according to Eric. Well, welcome back, guys. And to give context on why Eric's the landlord, today's theme is going to be unwanted company, specifically people being kicked out of places.
And let me just say, honestly, that I am going to dedicate this episode to my non-cringy sister-in-law.
I was going to say that, Aaron.
Who loves kicking people out and getting evictions on file, lives for it.
This one's for you.
She is so fucking well known at the eviction court, the UD court in Vegas. Mm-hmm. Literally, she has like her own suite.
Oh my God.
She has like a box suite. Like, you know, like people have like
reserved
football.
For Aaron?
Yeah. Right. Like she gets she can walk right up to the front of the clerk's line now and just file shit.
Yeah.
They just know.
They know her by name.
So as far as that goes, house guests and other unwanted people getting kicked out, right? Sis, this one's all for you.
All for her. All right.
You know what it's almost like, though?
What is it almost like?
Almost like when you have an actual cringy sister-in-law who moves into your place and you're not quite sure how to get rid of her.
Yep.
But you're not my non-cringy sister-in-law knows exactly how to deal with her sister.
I hope.
So,
exactly.
So there you go. It's almost like that.
It's almost like that. All right.
Before we get into the episode, I want to say three things. First of all, I had to do a medical exam this morning, like blood draws and stuff.
On the calendar.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to eat, and I wasn't allowed any caffeine until just recently. So I'm still a little goofy, and so let the world know. Mm-hmm. That's why, number one. And so my ADHD is like in hyperdrive today.
You want meds?
No. No, I'm saying because I'm hungry and I'm distracted, and I was like caffeine fixing, and and then I ordered my favorite fried chicken for myself, but it was like all soggy because it came late. I don't know. Just again. So that's number one. Number two, again, sorry about not having 2 episodes this week.
Yeah.
I don't count on 2 next week.
No.
Either. We are really, really deep in a couple of very interesting cases. I promise that it's not just me that thinks they're interesting, and I'm going to, we'll do an episode about some of these and some of the weird things that happen. There's one case in particular combines insolvency and reorganization and legal separation and divorce and infidelity and like all sorts of things all wrapped up into one.
Yeah.
Bitter spouses, or one, I should say. So I won't, I don't know. Maybe he hasn't gotten the memo, but if he does, maybe, I don't know. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh my God.
As a little inside.
Uh-huh.
And then we are still going to, at some point, I really do want to do that episode on Silk Road, mostly because I find it so fascinating. Yeah. And honestly, I didn't even really understand like what the dark web was until I listened to not mine, but I listened to a podcast that explained all of Silk Road and how this dark web kind of is out there. And it's critically fascinating and frightening at the same time.
Yeah.
So, and what's most frightening is there's like a niche core group of people that literally live on the dark web.
Yes.
I mean, and live from it.
Yes. I know.
Very scary. So, setting all that. And then last thing, I promise, then we can dive into the episode. I just want to give a shout out. I did go to Vegas this last weekend. I was there for just one night, a turnaround trip. I was bringing my niece a gift.
Yes.
And I had the pleasure of meeting part of the Midbar Maj crew.
Exactly. Yes.
So shout out to Jessica and Amy and Emily. Okay. And of course, my non-cringy sister-in-law, Karen minus the K.
Yep.
And to Emily, if you're a listener, sup, girl.
Oh my God.
But let me just say, but Donkadori got competition.
Oh my God. HR is giving him the look, and he's trying to avoid it. He's trying not to look at you. He was looking directly this way.
And I'll look any way I want.
All right.
Okay, so let's dive right in.
Okay. First one is titled, "Am I the asshole for kicking my boyfriend's mom out of the house?"
Oh.
I, 25 female, have been with my boyfriend for 3 years now. A few months ago, his mom came to the U.S. from India and has been spending the last few months in the home we got together. It all started when I kept finding her rummaging through my clothes on multiple occasions. And then I started to notice that my clothes were going missing. And I noticed that she was slowly throwing my clothes away.
Oh my God.
I don't make a lot of money, so it was really upsetting to me to see all of my clothes in the trash. That's when I put 2 and 2 together. After that, I confronted her and I asked her to please stop. She claimed the clothes were too revealing for someone who will be a part of her family. Mind you, these are just Lululemon athletic clothes that I only wear to the gym. I told her I could wear what I want, but that I would refrain from wearing the clothes in front of her. She stopped throwing the clothes away for a while, but then she started up again, and this time she just started cutting them apart and throwing them out. Oh my God. I had enough, so I got her a hotel room and I put all of her stuff in there. And when her and my boyfriend were out one day, that's when it happened. Now she's going back to India, and my boyfriend is saying he's going to break up with me because I disrespected his mom. He asked me to move out. We both pay half of the rent right now, but I feel a little guilty. I know it's disrespectful in Indian culture, but am I the asshole here?
No, she was throwing away your clothing. Oh my God, Lululemon shit is expensive
too. As fuck. Really? One legging there, legging. I don't know. For one, it's $100 for one.
Yeah, I would. She was pretty patient. I would have flipped it the first time that happened.
And it wasn't enough for her to throw it away. She was like, "No, I'm going to cut it because it's just taking it out of the dumpster." I would have cut her. No. And then she was like, I don't even make a lot. So it's like her throwing all my shit away. Like, fuck. Like, and then him saying you have to leave. I'd be like, first of all, I pay half of the rent here. Fuck you. I'm not leaving.
It would have been on the lawn the next day.
She was nice enough to get her a hotel. I would have put her shit on the lawn.
I just have a question. I don't know if it says it in there, but is girlfriend Lucinda a Lucinda or is she a Lucinder Pinder?
I don't think we're certain if she's the same.
I'll tell you why it matters.
I don't know why.
Okay.
It might just be boyfriend because she said, I know that it's in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the reason I'm asking, one is it would be hard for me to believe that she would expect something different if she herself was Indian or from that culture.
Mm-hmm. She would have known to hide everything.
Right. No, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. Yeah, or like just go a little bit more modestly, have your gym stuff in your gym bags, change when you're there. Little things like that. Especially, I'm assuming that Mama Lucinda Pinder wasn't going to be there forever, like a short period of time. Okay. What actually happened, and unfortunately, my Girl Power crew didn't think of this, is that Mama Lucinda Pinder ruined her son's life.
Yes.
No. Ruined her son's life because you know how hard and long he was probably looking for a non-Dupinder girl. Right? Them Indians love white girls. Okay? And if
honestly, they do though.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
The white girls love them because they
not all of them, but the ones that have money. But
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was going with.
But my point is, if he was able to bag a white chick that looked good in Lulu's and was hitting the gym like all revealing, I would shoot my mom before I would let that walk out.
Exactly.
And I'm just guessing, but I'm betting that this wasn't like an instant like, hello, how you doing, girl? And like all of a sudden, like she was like, oh, hey, let's hook up. No, he put in the work.
Yeah.
Right. And so like we're living together now. Mom fucked this all up. Okay. I would put mom in a fucking tandoori oven direct. Fuck that.
But he's ruining it too because he was like, I'm going to break up with you now because of this.
Well, what else is he going to say? Because now, he's got to deal with his mom.
That's true.
And like all of her shit moved out. I mean, he'll never hear the end of it. That's why I'm saying,
That is true, actually. Yeah.
You're right. He will never.
And by the way,
his mom is going home and setting an arranged marriage that same day.
Well, that could happen too. But I'm just saying that's not unique to just like the Calcutta people or whatever. Like my mom would kill me too if I was like, yo, Ma, you got to go. Or if my girlfriend was like, yo, Eric, your mom got to go.
Her stuff's already at a hotel.
Right. And I hate to say this. Okay. It also matters what hotel. No, I'm serious.
She put her in the Motel 6.
That's right. That's what I mean. If she put her up at like the Ritz-Carlton or whatever.
Oh, she could afford that.
I know, but I'm saying that might be a little bit like easier for the mother-in-law to take or the, future mother or whatever. But you're right. If she put her in like fucking Roach Motel Inn or whatever, like the Roach Coach or whatever, the No-Tell Motel. Okay. There's a lot of those, the fucking hourly rate places. Okay. If she stuck her in one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dupinder's life is fucking ruined.
Yep.
Oh, look, I'm getting another random call from the front door of our building because somebody just randomly dials whatever. Like, no, I'm serious. That's what it is.
Oh my God.
They're like the Door Dashers or the whatever. They don't give a shit. They just dial anyone till somebody lets them in.
It's annoying if people order stuff and then not answer the door.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, or they don't put their like code in.
Oh, their code in.
Yeah. And so it's like that's what they do. They call, voicemail, like, hello, DoorDash. Like, oh no, man, stop. Like I didn't order anything. And it's not that I want to be a jerk to these people, but honestly, I don't know for sure because I'm not there.
Yeah.
Right? Because when somebody buzzes up, it just goes to my cell phone.
Yeah.
Here they're calling. I'm just going to decline. So I was like, I don't want to let just some random person in. I don't know because it'd be easy for me to just like dial randomly and like,
yeah, exactly.
You get some old lady. Hello. The flower delivery, whatever for Dottie. Oh, well, all right, whatever. And no. So I get these all the time after. Anyway, sorry, back to this. See what I mean? I'm so all over the place today. Back to the story. So I am going to give Lucinda Pinder.
Mom, then?
No, girlfriend.
We don't know if she's Pinder.
Oh, that's true. That's actually she's a white girl. I'm going to give white girl. I'm giving white girl girlfriend 1 dingleberry.
I can agree with that.
Okay, I'm not going to give her more than 1.
I can agree with that.
And I can't give her just 0 because she probably could have been like, yo, mom or future mom, this is just how we do it here. It's everybody dresses like,
Yeah.
She tried that. That was not working.
I'm just saying. Or she could have done something a little less extreme, like pack her shit and take it to a hotel.
I mean, the only option she had really was to cut up her shit. And I don't think mom would have taken that lightly.
No.
I mean, she could have, I guess, moved out herself. But
that's
no. No. Does she have to leave her own place?
Exactly. But I agree. One dingleberry for her is fine. Because,
Now, for white girl Lucinda, girlfriend Lucinda, I'm going to give her an 8 on the Feldman scale. I don't think it's super shameless.
No,
I think
it was justified, yeah.
Well, yes, but it still could have been handled better, I think, or differently.
Yeah.
How do you think she should have handled it?
Well, I don't know that I would have packed her stuff up and put it in a hotel. Honestly, if you're asking, like, what would Eric do?
Mm-hmm.
If Eric were the girlfriend in this situation, I would pack some stuff and I would take myself to a hotel. I'm guessing
you would have moved out of your own place.
Moving out is different than staying for a couple nights in a hotel.
Well, you're assuming it's a couple nights. I think
I
mom
understand.
was there for a long time.
We don't know.
A few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would, but my point is I would do that to make a statement, right? Like, look, I'm going to stay in a hotel.
She'll cut up your shit while you're gone.
No. I'm going to take all my stuff with me. I'll be like, look, I'm going to stay in for a hotel for a couple of days because this really is not okay. I can't be told what to wear in my own apartment or whatever, or when I go to the gym, and see if that made a difference. But there's no easy way out of it.
No, yeah,
because Mama Lucinda Pinder, she's not changing anything about herself.
No,
right. In fact, if anything, she probably thinks she's justified and right.
Yes,
which is like the worst. Because I listen, I have a lot of foreign family, and that's how they roll.
Yeah,
not Indians, but nonetheless, like I get
it.
No, they think they're right about everything.
Yeah.
And so like the older generations, especially, and they impose the sort of, what's the right word? Like they impose sort of their morality upon everybody else. And it's not even really a morality issue, right? Because even if she were dressed a little, what you would call, quote, skimpy or whatever, it's still a gym. And unless it's like a private trainer's house, everybody's going to be dressed somehow, like in gym clothes. Yeah. And as long as she's not naked or over revealing, exactly. I mean, that's so if she's actually allowed to wear what she wears to the gym, it's probably not that bad.
You. Yeah, because gyms won't let you come in there wearing.
Right. You can't just walk, clothes, like with your business swinging,
No.
And, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's really just more of the older school.
And also Lululemon doesn't sell anything like that. Well, they really only sell.
Yeah, but she might have had other stuff.
I was like,
she may have had other stuff and saved the Lulus for like when they go out, like for the club or whatever.
No, it's only workout clothes.
Yeah, I know, but people wear that kind of shit all the time to like every other day stuff.
No, that's true.
And they go, look, my Lulus. But I'm just saying, okay, now, I know, again, we always do this. We spend tons of time on like the first one, but Mama Dupinder, Lucinda Pinder, I'm giving her 4 dingleberries.
I'm going to give her 5.
But you're a girl. You're a woman. It's different. I know, but I'm giving her 4 for basically criticizing and not letting up. And I'm going to give her a 3.5 on the Feldman scale. It's not the most shameless thing in the world to kind of like sit your future daughter-in-law down, but it is in this sense more than just a little shameless because they're not married yet.
Right.
She's technically a guest in their home.
Yeah.
Again, if they were married, she'd still be a guest, but it would also be a little bit more like family. And, maybe she'd be a bit more comfortable to sit her down like, listen, daughter, white girl daughter, I gotta, tell you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why but I'm still 3.5. I mean, it's still
I agree with
pretty
that.
fucked up.
Yeah.
And then like to just start cutting and throwing shit away. That's really where she gets the Feldman score from.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So all right.
Yeah, cutting the shit. I think that's lower on the scale.
Well, you're looking at it from
shameless if you're destroying
you're looking at it from the economic side of it. But okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Next one. Am I the asshole for kicking my sister's boyfriend out of my vacation home? My husband, we'll call him Kai, and I owned a vacation home on Lake Michigan. We both own it technically, but it was his before we got married. This matters later. My sister Leah has been using our vacation home since Kai and I started dating. We don't mind because she's always clean and courteous and leaves it better than how she found it. However, she started dating her boyfriend Al about a year ago, and I can't say the same for him. Al is a total slob. He leaves dirty dishes, empty bottles, etc. everywhere and expects Leah to clean everything up. He has split custody of 2 young kids from his ex, who he just lets run free, expecting Leah to do all the work even though they're his kids. On top of that, he's told Leah to just get him stuff while she's obviously busy and he's just watching TV a few times in front of me and Kai, so I can't imagine how he treats her when we're not around. Their house is always a mess because Leah works 60 hours a week and doesn't have time to take care of 2 small kids and Al, clean and work long hours. Yet somehow, I think Leah really loves him. She looks at him like he's the only man in the world, and that's why when Leah asked if she and Al could use the vacation home this week, I said yes. I figured that what's the worst that could happen? Plus, Kai and I are already planning on going 3 days after them, so we'd overlap. Well, when Kai and I got there, the vacation home was a pigsty. It smelled like rotting food in there, and there was a mountain of dirty dishes in the sink. The floor was sticky, and there were drawings all on the walls with crayon. We got to the living room, and lo and behold, Leah was scrambling, trying to pick up the toys, and Al was laying down, drinking a beer in the rocking chair. I immediately snatched the beer from his hand, and I asked him why he wasn't cleaning the mess he made. He asked why I assumed it was him.
Did that bitch just say she grabbed the beer right out of his hand? That's a party foul.
That's too fucking bad.
No, you can't do that.
It's her house.
That's assault.
It's her house.
I don't care where it is. That's assault. No. I'm just saying. Okay, keep going.
Uh-huh.
But I'm already anti-Lucinda here on this.
Oh, sure. He asked me why I assumed it was him and not Leah. I said, because I'm not an idiot. He chuckled and said, Leah was doing the cleaning and there didn't need to be another person cleaning. His nonchalance really ticked me off, so I told him he and his sticky little kids had an hour to pack up their things and leave before I called the cops. Al looked at Kai, and Kai just answered with, why are you looking at me? Go pack. At this point, Leah was really upset with me, and she said that they were looking forward to unwinding, and I walked in and ruined it in 5 minutes, not even considering other resolutions to the conflict, and that I had no claim to the house because I didn't buy it myself. I told her there was no conflict. Al is a deadweight, and that's that. And as for the house, Kai owns it, and he was with me. She said if Al was leaving, she was leaving too. That night, I got a call from my mom asking why I kicked Leah out. I told her I kicked Al out, and Leah followed. My mom told me I needed to be more accepting of the new members of the family, and that not everyone has the same living style as me. Now she's mad, and Leah won't talk to me. Was I the asshole in this situation?
No, not at all. But it probably could have been handled better. I mean, I totally understand her feelings, but I mean, she kicked her nieces and nephews out too, which seems kind of.
No, those aren't. Those are his kids from an ex that he doesn't take care of.
Okay. I thought that was his kids too. Okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, does that really matter though, if they're stepkids or not, or
kind of, because how would your niece and nephew feel like if you kicked them out of your house?
I think they would feel the same way whether they were from Josh's alleged first marriage. But I look at things very differently. Yeah. I don't, I just accept everything.
Yeah.
I don't. But
the guy sounds like a jerk.
He sounds like an asshole.
Yeah.
No, he sounds like he was written like an asshole by this pissed off Lucinda, who didn't like her fucking Michigan lakefront house, fucked with. And let me just say, I don't completely disagree.
Right.
Okay, I get it. I don't like walking into a mess either. I'm being honest. I get very uncomfortable.
Right.
If there's too much shit around or whatever. I do. Okay.
Me too.
A lot of clutter. All right. The kids are going to be kids. Okay. I understand she was freaked out at that and the crayons and the sticky floor.
See, I don't agree with that. Kids can be kids, but that doesn't mean kids can be badass kids.
No, but my point is, no. But what I'm saying is,
asked the kids to help me clean it up.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, as an adult, I'm not going to blame the kids. I blame their lack of supervision on mom and stepdad or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Kids are going to be kids, right? In other words, you have to expect some of that. And if the kids were legit having this great time and this is a great trip, I'm not going to fuck that up for them.
Right.
I would have a serious talking to with sister and brother-in-law or whatever, brother and sister-in-law, whatever they are. And I would definitely let it be known that this is the last time this is going to happen, and this is really disrespectful. I might wait to the end of the whole trip. Like, I'd probably suck it up while I was there. I'd be broody and miserable and upset, but I wouldn't blow it up, mostly because I wouldn't want to ruin it for those kids. Honestly, I'm just, but I would definitely sit my brother-in-law or my sister-in-law or whatever they are, whatever.
It's her sister.
Whatever the fuck they are.
That's her boyfriend.
It's a weird dynamic. Boyfriend, whatever. And I would definitely kind of lay down the law. What I would not do, though, is I wouldn't let it get physical. I wouldn't swipe something out of this guy's hand. I wouldn't kick his feet. He's already like that. And all you're going to do, honestly, is give him more fuel to behave even more shitty.
Yeah.
And people that have that sort of mentality, that's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? They take it as an excuse to be like bigger jerks, right? No, you don't give them the satisfaction. Just, whatever, say your piece. That's it.
Yeah. No, to me, it's fuck them because I don't care if the kids were enjoying it or not. If I come into that place and it looked like that, and like she said, it smelled like rotting food, and like all I see is like my sister literally running around cleaning and no one else is helping her, I think I would lose my shit too.
Yeah, but I also
would have talked to my sister first instead of just kicking out.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
No, yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
It also feels like a touch of an exaggeration because they were there a couple of days ahead.
Yeah.
So food, unless you leave it out from the minute you get there, whatever.
Well, she said there was a pile of dirty dishes, so it could have food on there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, it might have an odor of like the staleness, but there's a difference between that and like rotting eggs. That's, and that's what I mean. It might be, she might just be writing this a little bit aggressively because she was so miffed at all that. It's also possible that Sister Lucinda, like Neat Freak Lucinda, is just that. Like, she might be a little OCD about cleaning. Because I know, because my ex-mother-in-law was like that. I'm serious. She could not pass the table without taking out the squirt can or whatever.
Oh my God.
Or the Windex. I mean, seriously, it was really, I think she got a little bit better as time went on, but she was really, really bad with that kind of stuff for a while. So maybe it's not quite that bad, but maybe it's a little bit of that. Like, she just can't stand like the dirt and the mess. And, like, especially if it's a cabin, it's probably not a 5,000 square foot house.
No, yeah.
That's what I mean. So you're going to walk into this small sort of space. It's going to all kind of be there. It's going to,
She's probably kind of protective of it because it was initially her husband.
Yeah, and, that's
so like your family is messing up something that belongs to your husband.
Exactly.
You're going to be even more irritated if it was yours.
Yeah, because then it's like you look bad. Your family looks bad because of what your sister and her boyfriend are doing. Yeah, I get that. How many dingleberries are you giving out?
It's a little bit tougher because I do think she kind of overreacted, but honestly, without the visual of how bad the cabin may have been, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because I know how I react, right, to certain things like that. And for me, like, if I were to come in and like the floors were all sticky and there's dishes piled up, I would probably react worse.
Yeah.
You're saying me personally. Yeah. I'm being honest.
I was also thinking, like, this is Michigan. I'm sure it was like the summer or something. So it's like, imagine like Michigan summers. It's hot and they're on like vacation there. I'm sure it was hot in there.
Yeah, but Lake Michigan
just added to it.
Yeah, but Lake Michigan is not Detroit.
That's true.
Like, Detroit in the summer is a whole different level of stink.
Yeah.
Right. But nonetheless, because, fucking Michigan, give me a break. Okay. It's not, but I think it was written very aggressively.
Yeah.
And you have to always kind of take that with a grain of salt when people write in such a way to like really make you like side with them.
Right.
And by the way, it's yes, but it's not always intentional. It's normal for people because they're expressing themselves, right? And very few people write, like, even attorneys where we're supposed to really just focus on the facts of whatever's going on. We always throw shit in to like try to sprinkle some adjectives around or whatever. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to give Clean Freak Lucinda 2 dingleberries for kind of ruining her step niece or nephew's trip or vacation. Her sister probably was made to feel bad, because she kind of freaked out while the sister's like scrubbing the floor. Probably, made the whole thing uncomfortable.
I'm going to give her 1.5 dingleberries.
Yeah, just a little bit dingleberry. Just for the way she handled it. Yeah. Not for how she was feeling. She was totally justified in what she was feeling.
Yeah.
Feldman scale, give her a 6. again, it's a little shameless. Basic, you have an hour to pack your shit and get out or whatever. Like it's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
It's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
You know, it's you gotta lack a little bit of shame to do that, especially with like little kids.
Right.
Now, what I am going to do though is I am going to award a few bonus points to boyfriend Al, right, or Billy, Couch Billy. Okay, Couch Billy is going to get 3.75 dingleberries.
He gets 4.75.
That's up to you. But I'm saying
he didn't quite make it to 5.
No, but look, it was. But let me explain why.
Someone give him the benefit that it might not be true.
Let me explain why it's not more. Maybe it's going to surprise you. Maybe it's not. It's not about his lounging on the couch. He could legitimately have that kind of arrangement or relationship with the sister.
Right.
Like she does the cleaning, maybe he does the grocery shopping, and she does the.
Sounds like he definitely does.
It's not, but my point is, to him, this was totally normal, right? It wasn't meant to be insulting or anything, and that's why I said, "Well, your sister does the cleaning." Okay, he might have come across douchey. I'm just saying, but
it might be hard to see your sister working that much and having to take care of this asshole and doing all.
I get it. I'm saying, but this could be their happy agreement.
Yeah.
Where he agrees, because look, I'm saying this because I can relate a little bit to, Couch Billy, douchey Al or whatever, because I'm not a cleaner. I have no problem hiring people to do it. I'm serious.
Yeah.
But that's just not me. Like I don't pack shit. I can't. I'll happily go to the market.
Yeah.
And I'll go grocery shopping. I'll happily get stuff that we need. I'll happily supervise the handyman that put it together. I'll do all that stuff. Yeah, I'll take the cars for washes and oil changes.
But you take care of your kids.
Yes, I do. But
this man makes her take care of his kids.
I know. But I'm saying, but when they were that little and they were just running amok, it's almost a waste of energy to try to rein that in. Now, I would not let my kids ruin someone else's home.
Right.
I would definitely, but ultimately what would have happened is, again, if you're asking what would Eric do, I just would have paid to have it cleaned up at the end. Repaint over the crayons or wash it down.
Right.
Bring it like a professional crew with like the power steamers or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Afford to do that.
I'm assuming they can, but if they
have to,
okay, that's a different argument.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, what would Eric do? I would live it up, and then I would make sure, like, when I left, because like the last house we moved out of, I did the same kind of thing. Yeah. After all the packing was done, I hired a crew. They came in, they did the carpets, the walls, the floors. It just,
Yeah.
So when they did their walkthrough, those cunty landlords, or whatever, couldn't say a word to me. Well, actually, they weren't that bad, but they couldn't say anything. Yeah. Like, show me anything that we missed.
Exactly.
And that way you just do what you do and live it up for that period. Again, it's not for everybody. I understand. I'm just saying that's what I would do. So I can't give them too many,
okay,
Feldman points and dingleberries.
All right.
Oh, did we do a Feldman scale for Billy?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I'm giving Billy a 10. Yeah, there's no shame in it. Yeah,
I'm giving Billy a 4.
No. Hold on. There's no shame.
No, that is no shame. You're just sitting on your chair, drinking a beer, watching your kids.
No. It is.
Your wife clean. That's
no.
And then to be like, why would I clean? She's already cleaning.
Here we go. What? It is not shameless at all if that's their roles. If he was just kicking it, doing what he does,
and that's the definition of shameless.
No, they're just maybe. Because what if he's the one that like brings dinner and go, or cooks? We don't know.
I don't think so.
We don't know.
He doesn't sound like it. Though.
We don't want.
I feel like we know what this man sounds like, and he's not that.
He only sounds the way she wrote him to sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's my point. We don't know.
Okay. We can agree or disagree.
We can agree that I'm right again.
No, we can agree or disagree.
Okay. Keep on going.
Anyways, next one. We can. I'm gonna take the little part out when he's right again. Am I the asshole? Exactly. Am I the asshole for kicking my brother-in-law's entire family out, which made them homeless after they slowly destroyed my home? My husband's brother, 35 male, his wife, 26 female, and 2 boys, 4 and 3, moved in with me and my husband, both 30, last month because they got evicted. Before they moved in, we set some ground rules, such as my brother-in-law must be actively job searching and that they must respect our space and clean up after themselves. Unfortunately, in the past month, they began to slowly destroy my home and space without giving 2 shits. First of all, my sister-in-law is an extremely picky eater so she doesn't eat with us. That's fine, but they never clean up after they eat themselves, constantly leaving dirty dishes, pans, crumbs, food stains everywhere. Last week, one of the boys even peed on my couch, which I only found out about after I was smelling piss when I was watching TV. My sister-in-law is a stay-at-home, but she's more like a stay in her room, doing God knows what, while her 2 children run rampant around the house. In the last 3 weeks, her boys have colored on their bedroom walls, trashed my living room, and knocked over half of my plant collection while contributing nothing. My husband can sense my frustration, so he told me that he'd have a talk with them and hire a maid to clean the house. Things got a little better until yesterday. I came home early from work and their family was gone. Good, I think. I have peace and quiet for a few hours. Well, I decided to go take a nap in our bedroom, only to find out that my vase that my mother had handmade for me was shattered on the ground. I lost my mom when I was a teenager, and this was the last handmade item I have from her. I immediately knew it was the boys because there were still toys in my rooms and their tablet was on my bed. I was so angry, I ended up calling my husband, explaining the situation, and told him that they would not stay another day in our house. No questions asked. Then I went around the house, picking up all of their dirty clothes, toys, papers, etc., and I threw them outside onto the lawn. When they came back, there was a huge confrontation between me and them. I listed all the disrespectful things they'd done, and that because they met none of their conditions outlined when they first moved in, I wanted them off of my property by midnight. I called their kids untrained dogs, and they screamed back, calling me heartless, cruel, evil, and even saying that I would make them homeless. Well, they did end up leaving after I threatened to call the cops. My husband is fully on my side, but I can tell he feels a little bad. My mother-in-law called me upset, asking me to take them back in after I forced them to sleep in their car last night. Am I the asshole here?
Yeah, I think you totally
snapped.
Yeah.
And I think it was a well-deserved
snap. I think she was trying to be nice for a long time, and she just had enough.
Yeah.
She was done.
Yeah. Well, that vase was her last straw.
But this is an interesting situation in that we all agree she snapped, right? But then the question becomes, well, what's a justifiable snap, right? And is she forgiven under the circumstances, right? I mean, in other words, we're all saying the same thing in a sense, like, yeah, that she went a little overboard.
Yeah.
But it's kind of understandable.
Yeah.
Right? We know why she did.
Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of rate her poorly because, I mean, if you look at it again, like from a factual basis, the bitch snapped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have snapped when there was pee on my couch. That's when I would have snapped, and no one cleaned it up or told me.
That's the really aggravating thing is that she said that the mom was just sitting in the room, not watching the kids. Yeah. She wasn't working and she wasn't taking care of the kids.
Yeah,
that would infuriate me. Yeah, if she was making an effort, it wouldn't bother me so much. Because kids are going to be kids, but the fact that she's just like laying in a room, not doing anything, that would be very.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, you know what this is almost like?
What's it almost like?
It's almost like when your cringy sister-in-law brings her kid over and then assumes that you're going to be the one to watch all the kids now and feed them, and she just wants wine time.
Oh, my God.
Wants like whatever's on Amazon or whatever. It's
almost like that.
Almost like that.
It's almost like that.
Let me just say, I think, psychotic snap Lucinda, I'm going to give her 3 dingleberries.
I'm going to give her half a dingleberry.
Well, I understand why she snapped. I just think she went too far. Put all their stuff on the lawn.
Yeah, but that's the definition of snap.
But no, there's degrees. You can snap and just yell.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can snap and kick them out. You can snap and burn their clothes. There's all these different things.
You could snap and kill them,
I mean, I just think that I think she went a little too far, clearly. And I think that there was more, like you said, the straw that broke the camel's back. There was probably more that was going on.
Yeah.
Right? Because.
Well, I mean, she gave us the answers. There was a lot more going on.
Sorry.
There's a hell of a lot more going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, sorry. I woke up early today, too. Usually there is more going on because I can tell you, sometimes it's almost like when you have a cringy sister-in-law with a kid, there's usually a ton of other things happening besides the one thing you get mad at that moment. So I get it.
Okay.
I forgot. How many what?
You said you were giving her 3 dingleberries.
Oh, yeah, 3 dingleberries. Again, I understand the snap was justified, but I think what she did post-snap was a little hard. I'm going to give her a 4 on the Feldman. I think it could have been a lot worse. She could have, burned the clothes, and the arts and crafts or whatever they were working on, but it's still, she definitely made a big statement. I get that she was very emotional over the loss of the vase.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get that. But again.
So I'm going to disagree with you. Just because they were warned multiple times. Like, they were told when they first did that, like, look, if you're going to come live with us, you need to respect the house and you need to clean up after yourself. They were told that before they got there. They didn't give a fuck about that. They were told again when the husband talked to them and said, hey, you guys have to do better about it. Husband even had to hire a maid that came out of their pockets, not the brother-in-law's pockets. And even then, they still messed it up. So I just feel like this is just, they fucked around and found out. You know, they were warned multiple times. They had the warnings. They were told, get your shit together. You have to do better. You can't keep doing this. This is our home. And they didn't care. They felt like they could run rampant through their home and do whatever they wanted because they thought that they would not be kicked out because that was his brother. At the end of the day, they were. So I feel like it was well deserved. They didn't think of their kids when they let the kids do all of that. They didn't think of the kids when they weren't, you know, putting all their stuff together and cleaning up after themselves and all the mess that they did. They thought about themselves and they didn't care what the kids were doing. Now that the kids in them are homeless, now they want to, oh, but the kids are homeless. You should have thought of that when you didn't listen to the rules and when you were warned again and again.
Yeah,
so that's
see,
on them.
I understand the logic. I just think practically speaking, I couldn't let kids, you know, become homeless over a mess.
Yeah, but these people are gonna milk
I
I
understand.
They're
yes.
users, so they're gonna use the kids regardless of the age.
And fine, but at the end of the day, they're still kids, right? And they can't.
I would have kept the kids.
Okay, no, the kids sound terrible. They peed on my couch.
I'm just saying, they're still kids,
Sound like little,
but they're still kids, and they're incapable of, you know, they're not capable of caring for themselves, and they're sort of. Stuck.
I think that's up to parenting, honestly.
Yeah, but that's
because I wasn't a bad kid.
No, but that's not at the end of the day. They're still kids, right? So again, whosever fault it is, why they weren't taught differently or why they were and they didn't, whatever, it's not the point. The point is that these are still kids, and essentially you're taking away whatever stability they have. I just think it's going to be longer term, worse effects than the immediate. So while, you know, fucking just, you know, Tasmanian Devil Lucinda went crazy, rounding them all up and kicking them out or whatever, she might have done some real damage.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound like, again, I'm just saying.
Maybe stay-at-home moms should go look for a job and they wouldn't be evicted.
Maybe. But until that happens, whatever, in my opinion, you just have to deal with it.
Okay. Well, next one then. Am I the asshole for kicking out my nephew since he thought it was only his house? So, female 25, her nephew's 20. 5-year difference. My nephew and I grew up together, and I took care of him for most of my childhood and teen years. Even though we were 5 years apart, I still had to take care of him, but I never minded. He's family, and I cared for him a lot, but growing up, he would always steal my stuff and never give it back, or if he did, it was already ruined or damaged. Instead of getting in trouble, it was always me the one getting in trouble because I was the oldest, and since he had a rough childhood, I had to let him do whatever he wanted. I honestly did not like that because I raised him the best I could being a teenager, and I really didn't have a choice there. I had to clean, I had to cook for him, and it made me upset, but that's in the past. Currently, I have an apartment and I needed help paying rent, and my nephew offered to live with me and pay some of the rent himself. His college is a 10-minute drive away from here, and where we used to live, it's a 40-minute drive, so he moved in with me. At first, he was paying it, and then slowly, he stopped paying me rent. Obviously, I let him know that he does have to pay rent and that if he could pay me soon, and he never did. He just said that since I'm his aunt and I'm older, I have to pay for everything for him, which pisses me off. I know that I didn't raise him to be like that. I found out that he was doing certain things that he wasn't supposed to, and I also found out he's been stealing money from my room. He doesn't give me money for everything, for anything. He just goes to school and stays in my apartment rent-free, and I can't support both of us. I've told his mom about it and my mom, but all they told me was that I should support him and give him money because I'm his aunt, so that he wouldn't have to steal it from me. I barely have money, that I could barely afford rent, and they want him to give him more money just so he can go and spend it. Like, no. I told him he has to get a job or he can't live with me. Then he threatened to kick me out of my own apartment. So I snapped and I kicked him out. I threw all of his clothes out and I told him not to come back. Most of my family doesn't want to talk to me right now, and they're all mad, and my cousins are the only ones talking to me. The rest of the family won't. Am I the asshole here?
What's wrong with people's families? She reached out to the family for help, and they wouldn't help her. They said, "Oh, it's your responsibility."
Yeah, his mom literally was like, "You're his aunt. You're his aunt, and you should pay the rent. You're his aunt. You should pay the rent, and you should give him money so he won't have to steal from you." His own mom.
Yeah. No, wait. Why did she raise him and not the mom? Did it say?
She just said he had a rough childhood. I'm guessing the mom just wasn't really there.
Mom
was
not for the mom.
Mm-hmm. But no, I don't think she's the asshole. Honestly, I think he's used to her always giving him what he wants or people giving him his way, which was what it sounds like, like even when they were little, he would break stuff and she would get in trouble because she was the oldest and, it wasn't his fault. And it's saying like, you have to pay for everything because you're my aunt. I don't have to do anything. That's one, to me, I would have been like, first, no, you can go back home and you can start driving the 40 minutes back and forth. And then finding out he was stealing from her was even worse. Like on top of that made it worse.
So that's to me what broke the camel's back. That's the actual. Mm-hmm. I mean, me personally, I could put up with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Especially if it's family.
Yeah.
But that kind of betrayal, I would have a very hard time looking past that.
Yeah.
And now I say that with the caveat of take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
If, for example, my nephew were in deep with a bookie.
Right.
Or something. Mm-hmm. And he stole because he was afraid or something,
mm-hmm.
I'd be very, very upset, but I'd be more upset that he didn't come to me directly.
Exactly.
Right. But I have the kind of relationship with my nephew or my niece that, I feel like
Right.
But again, it's hard to gauge someone's, that doesn't sound like what happened here. Yeah. This sounds more like he was just living it up and he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. And then threatening to kick her out after she found out about that.
Yeah. That's pretty. So I'm going to give nephew Billy 4.5 dingleberries, or the aunt. Sorry, whichever one was like stealing.
That's nephew. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm giving him 4.5, but yeah.
All right. Well, look, I'm only giving him 4.5 because maybe there was an underlying issue or cause or some kind of condition or something going on that, not that he couldn't help himself, but maybe there's something else driving this.
Yeah.
So I don't want to completely foreclose him out.
Yeah, but
4.5 is still pretty high. I mean, that's.
I agree with that. It's just also the fact that she raised him.
Yeah, it makes it hurt worse.
She lost her own childhood. Yeah. I mean, she was a teenager.
That's what I'm saying, and that makes it hurt worse for her.
Yeah,
but that doesn't necessarily change the scenario. That's why I'm saying if there still could be an underlying issue.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5 though. Right. But yeah,
and then on the Feldman scale, nephew Billy. The thief Billy, whatever.
He's a 0 from me.
I was going to give him a 1.
Okay.
Again, there could be something else, but it's pretty shameless when you're stealing from like the only family you've got that raised you, and especially someone that lost their own child.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about knowing every vulnerability there is and somehow using it. That's
the one person who's cared for you.
Yeah, and that's why I think this is more Feldman than Dingleberry. It takes a special lack of shame to do that to a relative that you're supposed to be that close to. So
yeah. Have you ever read like true crime things where people lash out at the one person who has helped them?
Yes.
Because they end up kind of reminding them of the person that they're angry at, like their mother or whatever relative. Mm-hmm. I think this kid is just he's fucked up.
Yeah.
He's just, and I'm sure the mom has a lot of responsibility for that.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. So yeah. Well, all right then. We can move on.
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Am I the asshole for kicking out my girlfriend and her son after she invited her ex into our home? Me, 35 male, and my girlfriend Sarah, 35 female, have been together for 4 years now. She has a son, Nathan, who's 9, with her ex, Mark, 36. Sarah has full custody of Nathan, with her ex having scheduled visitations one weekend of every month. Sarah and Nathan moved in with me a little over a year ago, and in my perspective, it was a little rocky at first. I've always been pretty protective of my space, so making room for 2 other people was a little difficult for me. When Sarah moved in with me, we agreed that the visitations for Mark would be held in our apartment as long as I was home. The main reason I wanted this is because I don't know Mark that well, and I don't want him wandering around our apartment without me there. When we proposed this idea to Mark, he was fine with it. Well, now moving on to the real issue. 3 weeks ago marked 4 months since Mark's last visit, so I had asked Sarah when he was planning on visiting Nathan. My girlfriend replied by shrugging her shoulders and telling me that she would ask. She never followed up with that. So a few days ago, I asked when Mark's next visit was, and Sarah said she told me when she knew. Nathan was in the living room, but had apparently overheard us and shouted something along the lines of, "Dad was here last weekend, remember?" Sarah's face immediately dropped, and when I asked what Nathan meant, she wouldn't give me a direct answer. Eventually, she ended up telling me that for the past 2 visits, Mark had been into our apartment while I was working. When I accused her of going back on our agreement, she kept telling me this was her home too, and she could invite whoever she wanted, and that it was fine because she was here and watching. I told her that was beside the point and that she violated my trust. It blew into a huge argument which ended up with me telling her to get out of my apartment. She packed up and left with Nathan. Last I heard, she was staying with her parents. I've gotten several messages from both Sarah and her parents calling me an asshole for kicking Sarah and Nathan out of their home for something so small. She's even been blasting me on Instagram and Facebook about how horrible I am to do this to her. It's got me thinking that maybe I am the asshole, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Am I the asshole here? And then there's an edit to add. It says, I can see why it's important, but the court order was instructed because of Mark having a criminal record. So that's why, I guess people were asking him why it was only on visitation.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was understanding, like, why.
No, he had, criminal record.
Yeah. Well, she should have talked to him before. She just, she knew it was important to him.
Exactly.
She should have said something at a time.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that she should have said something to him. She should have talked to him. Or she should have been like, hey, like, no, I feel like this is shady all around.
Like, kicking her out seems a little harsh, though.
No.
I don't know.
I don't think it's harsh just because, again, it's just, my thing is, this was laid out when they moved into his home and she agreed to it and it was fine, right? I feel like when you agree to something and you've already been told this and you go back on it, then you're just fucking around and finding out.
Yeah.
And she fucked around and she found out. She knew that he didn't want him in his home when he wasn't there. And I feel like he had a valid reason and she didn't care. So I just feel like it was well deserved.
I think he's a little apprehensive about them being there from the beginning. Anyway,
yeah.
Because he said he had a hard time sharing his space.
Yeah.
So it partly seems like he was looking for a reason to not make this work.
I see what you mean there. I think him mentioning that was just him saying, like, I'll admit in the beginning it was kind of like rocky, but now it's better. I feel like that's kind of what he meant.
They obviously don't have great communication if she didn't feel like she could talk to him about this whole thing with the ex.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were going to talk. You sighed.
Oh, I was getting a next. There was a next door alert, and somebody posted something about well, why are all the helicopters around? Like, you mean fucking wildfires, or a big accident, or a medical issue? I don't know why usually. But anyway, sorry. Oh, I mean, as far as this goes, I'll tell you what, and this is going to be a very nitpicky response.
Mm-hmm.
So bear with me. I would need to know what the criminal conviction was for.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. If it were anything to do with violence or violence towards children or theft, I would have a very hard time, and the reaction is justified.
He did say he didn't know what it was because Sarah wouldn't tell him.
Well, but you can find out. There are ways to get into it, but that, to me, believe it or not, is more definitive than breaking rules or whatever.
Yeah.
If I could get to a point where I at least feel like this is not going to put the child or somebody else in harm's way, especially if I'm not there, I might be persuaded to live with it.
Yeah.
If, on the other hand, there's a reason that he was convicted, and if it had to do with an issue or an area of criminal act that I would find to be reprehensible and morally reprehensible, I would not. I don't care.
Right?
Like,
I agree with that. Yeah.
So that's why it's harder for me to kind of rate back and forth. If you go just on the facts alone, you're right. You were told certain ground rules. You agreed. Right? They're doing you a favor, and you just kind of said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I don't care." That's a very childish approach. Especially like what HR said, without at least bringing it up first. Like, look,
talking to him.
Ex-hubby, it's the only time he can see the kid.
Yeah.
I'll be here. I'll make sure, whatever. That's number one. Number two, I assume this was happening during the day when nobody else was home.
Yeah.
Let's go to the fucking park.
Yeah, that too.
Take the kid for a walk and have him meet you there. Right? Honestly, that would have ended all of this.
Yeah, because this whole thing was he didn't want him in his home.
Right.
That was it.
Or at the very least, you're not violating any kind of order.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or anything like that. Right? Go meet him at a
Maybe
park.
He can't be around other kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
Right?
Honestly.
You're right. It's a possibility.
Maybe he just can't be around other kids.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it really matters, like what the conviction was for. And also how long ago it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell you that, for example, now I'm gonna get real for a second.
Okay.
Right. in federal court, there are mandatory minimums and sentencing guidelines that judges have to follow.
Right.
And they also have the 3 strikes, right? 3 strikes. So if you have 2 prior felony convictions, if you're convicted for a third one, mandatory 25 to life.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. But there have been cases here in California where there were earlier convictions for things that were related to addiction, like, so theft by, to sell items to buy money for drugs. Then there's like a third conviction for something super like minor. They're arrested for like, the guy shoplifted more than $300 worth of food.
Yeah.
Try to feed his family, and we're going to put this guy away for 25 years for that. And it's been 12 years since,
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. I need to know how long ago it happened, what it was about, and that would potentially change my position. Not knowing all of that and just going on what was written, Mama Lucinda should not have done that.
Agreed.
And interestingly enough, you guys might not agree with this, I'm not giving deadbeat Dad Billy any dingleberries. He just showed up because he was told he could.
Well,
somebody had to let him in.
Yes, but he was also told that. Remember in the beginning,
he
agreed that he'd only be here when I.
That's fine, but you want to tell me that he just showed up on his own?
No. Yeah,
pressured her.
But I'm saying, Lucinda really said, "Don't worry about it."
The wife,
come over, see the kid, and that's why I can't give.
We don't know if he.
I can't give convict Billy too many, dingleberries for that.
Yeah.
Chances are he was probably under the impression it was going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for all those reasons, I'm going to pass on.
I can agree with that. Yeah. Okay.
If this were about Lucinda, Mama Lucinda, I would be a little bit tougher on her.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, she can still either control not opening the door or, whichever ultimately would have happened, she could have prevented or allowed either way. So there we go.
Are you not going to give dingleberries to the mother?
No, not really. I'm tired.
Okay. So. Okay, next one.
All right.
Am I the asshole for kicking my in-laws out of my home?
Nope.
All right.
No.
I know. I, 27 female, have an 8-month-old daughter with my husband, 38 male. We have had issues.
Oh, he's 38, she's 27?
Yeah.
Score.
Oh, my God.
Billy.
We have had issues with his father and stepmother since the beginning of our relationship, but we have done our best to keep things civil for my husband's sake. Currently, my husband is overseas in the military and left when our daughter was 3 days old. This past weekend, my husband had begged me to let his parents come and meet our daughter, and I was told that they would stay at a hotel. The plans were to meet at my aunt's home during the day so that they could meet our daughter. Well, Thursday night, they were knocking at my door at 10 p.m. It was his dad and the stepmom. They came early and no hotels were affordable to them. They ended up in my guest room. My husband apologized and he had no idea why they were there, but asked me to make it work because he was busy with work. Well, early Friday morning, I woke up to my baby screaming in the crib. His stepmom had picked her up from the crib and apologized, saying that the baby was awake, so she thought it would be fine for her to just come and pick her up. I ended up grabbing my daughter and I told her to get out of my room. She said nothing but left, and I admit it was in a harsh tone. The whole day, I was becoming increasingly more annoyed because they had complained about dust, that I had laundry to do, that they felt like it was unfair that my family is around the baby more than his. Mind you, they live over 12 hours away, and my family isn't even an hour away from me. After I got my daughter down for bed, we were eating dinner, and his stepmom asked me if I was going to apologize for snapping at her this morning in my room. I told her no, she should not have been in my room to begin with. And she said, well, my therapist told me to tell you how I feel, and I feel that you're an ungrateful bitch. We came here to see our granddaughter and help you out, but we come here to get snapped at in the morning. My son's house is a mess, and you won't even let her cry for more than a few minutes before you scoop her away from us. That's when I told her to pack their shit and leave. All hell broke loose, and we got into a huge argument. I ended up calling the police to remove them from the home, and now all of his family are telling me that I'm the asshole. They called my husband while he was sleeping, and he felt that I may have taken it too far by kicking him out. Others are telling me that I was an asshole. So, am I the asshole? And then, edit to add, they just left after coming back to leave a gift card they took from my home. They opened the mail slot on my door to slip it through and let me know that they used the gift card that they took from me for breakfast and are now heading back home. I'm unsure where it was that they took it from. I'm going to replace that door now to get rid of the mail slot. But am I the asshole?
Well, I think that kind of says it all about what kind of people they are.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. Wow. These in-laws are a pain in the ass.
I'm sorry, that's fabulous.
Anyone who comes over to your house and then starts complaining about shit.
No, it's the fact that they stole that fucking gift card. She wouldn't even realize that gift card was gone. They came back and was like, sorry, we used it for breakfast. Here you go.
Listen, before I rate Billy, Lucinda, mother, in-laws, step-in-law, whatever, there are two real stories that remind me of this so much.
Okay.
So we've talked about my dad, mine and Josh's father.
Yes.
Okay. He's got a little bit of that sort of savageness to him also. So I'll give you an example. Okay. This literally just happened this last weekend.
Okay.
So my niece is 14.
Yep.
And she decided that she would like to learn how to play the drums.
Yeah.
Now, my brother told her, hey, your uncle Eric used to play the drums, right? You should ask him.
Right.
So I could see she was getting excited, and she was sending me like listings like on eBay, and you never know what you're going to get. So I reached out to someone I knew that was selling a drum set, and I got a great deal on a very, very good like quality drum kit, a full kit. And I decided I'm going to surprise her. I cleared it with my brother and my sister, my non-cringy sister-in-law. I said, look, I'm going to come up for one day. All right. Okay. Great. That's awesome. I'm going to make us dinner reservations for Saturday night at the steakhouse. I'm like, okay, perfect. Like, should we ask your dad? I'm like, yeah, of course. Right. He's not going to want to go. I said, I know, but ask.
Right. Right.
So we get there. Everything's great. I drop off. This is Saturday morning. I leave LA 6:30 in the morning. I'm in Vegas by 9:30, quarter to 10. I'm closer to about 3.5 hours. Yeah. No stops. Okay. So once I hit the bathroom, hey, niece, I'm here. Look what I got you. She cried. She was so excited. Yeah. It was awesome. Okay, great. We're like, okay, look, why don't we, I'm telling my brother, why don't you call dad and tell him where we're going for dinner tonight, see if he wants to come.
Yeah.
We give him a call. I'm there. First, he didn't know I was going to be in town either, right? I didn't, because my dad, God bless him, a little bit of a talker. He likes to gossip a little bit.
He's a yapper.
A yenta, yapper, whatever. Yeah.
He's a yenta.
So I didn't want to say anything until I got there, right? So that way, couldn't ruin the surprise. Okay. Hey, surprise! I'm here. Oh, hey, guy. He sounded all excited. And then, hey, Dad, we're going to dinner tonight at this place. Do you want to come? Nope. Right away. Nope. Nope. Are you sure? Nope. Okay. He calls back 10 minutes later. He's like, if you come to the Lucky Penny, which is at the fucking coffee shop at the Red Rock, that we end up at every time, then I'll have dinner with you guys.
Yep.
Oh, you know why?
Exactly.
He thought that you were sticking with the bill.
I know.
And he has points.
That's right. And he's got a ton of comps and points. But again, okay, Dad, sure. What time? 6? No. What time? No. 6:30 is good. Okay. But basically, it's like, you just tell us. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. So that's kind of how that feels a little bit like, you go out of your way, you want to do these things, like, no. And then, okay. This is almost just like, though. So it's not my cringy sister-in-law, but it's Josh's, who's now deceased, cringy father-in-law.
Okay.
Who also bitched about everything. Everything. It doesn't matter what you were doing. His fucking leg could hurt. Or he didn't like the food.
He was a chronic complainer.
Constantly about so no matter what you did, okay, he was not happy.
Yeah.
Right? That's what this feels like.
Yes.
Right? These in-laws are they want what they want. Now, this whole routine about my therapist said I should say what's on my mind.
And you're an ungrateful bitch.
I was going to say, that's probably true, except for
her therapist didn't tell her to say it like that.
Right. Or, and probably didn't say, like, look, you need to say what's on your mind, even if it hurts everybody around you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
So, having said all that, I'm giving step-in-laws a combined 8 dingleberries. 4 and 4.
I can agree with that, actually. Yeah.
Everybody's complacent in this. There is no one and not the other. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm giving co-in-laws, a combined 2 on the Feldman scale.
Really?
Yeah. I know it sounds very egregious. It's really just the woman. It's not the man, but they're a couple, right? Yeah. And I don't know, one step, one isn't, whatever. And honestly,
and the woman's the step. That's the crazier part. Yeah.
Well, and honestly, like at first, my reaction was nobody picks up other people's kids. Like, you just can't do that. But if she fancied herself really a grandma, then that would be kind of more normal. Okay, because grandmothers don't think about. I know. Hold on.
This lady walked into her room.
I know. I'm just saying I'm not done, but older people or people that are like grandparents, they kind of think they have this carte blanche.
Yeah.
And they always kind of assume they know better anyway, and they've already raised their kids. Okay. So at first it sounds really egregious, but then I thought but I could see where that might be the mentality.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was going to kind of lay off until the gift card thing. That is directly out of cringy sister-in-law and father-in-law's, or, not my brother's father-in-law's book. That is something they would do.
Yeah.
And then to slide it back in.
And to tell her.
Right.
The mail slot. We used it for breakfast.
Right. Here you go. You can keep the $3 that's left. Right. You can keep the 30 cents that's left on it.
What the fuck? Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of, truly? No, not like that. If you've ever been to like casinos with the slot machines, you get like tickets now, right? You don't get cash.
Yeah.
So like you'll see like these like tickets like 3 cents left on them or whatever.
3, 4.
Yeah,
10.
That's
just throw them away.
Yeah, that's what's left of the gift card. It's a 3 cent ticket. Like,
exactly.
Here you
exactly.
Go. So all right.
I agree with that.
They were making her feel bad about everything she did. They were making her feel bad about her mom, about her ability to take care of her house, about everything. And you don't, when you first meet someone, you don't do that.
Exactly. Dust. There's dust everywhere. You can't control it. One thing I've learned: you could clean 1 minute, dust is going to get on there in 5 seconds. Laundry, another thing. You can never not have dirty laundry. Because even when you wash, the clothes you're wearing is going to be dirty laundry that night. So she's going to have laundry to do. But I guess they also just take into consideration that she's basically almost a single mother here because her husband's in the military and he has to leave.
He left when her daughter was 3 days old.
That's pretty rough.
So them giving her shit about the house is my son's house is dirty because of you. You can't keep it up. That was fucked up too. But I agree with you. They very big dingleberries.
We got to make this the last one.
Okay.
Because I'm getting a bunch of emails. There's a ton of stuff, I guess.
There's one I want. So we'll read the last one because it's a longer one, but it's good. Stick with me.
Okay.
It's a good one.
All right.
Am I the asshole for kicking my fiance out after joking he got me pregnant on purpose? Here. I, 23 female, have been with my fiance, 26 male, for 3 years now. We met while I was on holiday, and a few weeks after he followed me on Instagram, and the rest was history. We got engaged last year, and a month later, I found out I was pregnant. We have a beautiful 6-month-old. We hosted Thanksgiving this year, and my fiance was drinking quite heavily. And after dinner, me and my mom were talking about the wedding, which my parents are paying for. I overheard my fiance tell my brother, who was just as drunk as him, that he needed to tie me down and get me pregnant before I realized what a dickhead he actually was. They laughed it off, but it rubbed me the wrong way because our baby was not planned. I wasn't ready for a child, and we were using condoms, but after a few instances where the condom broke, I decided it would be safer if I got on birth control. The first month on birth control, I got pregnant. We were told that could happen, and he said that he would pull out to be safe, but I still got pregnant. I was scared as fuck, but I personally did not want to get an abortion. I 100% believe in the right to get one. I just didn't want one. And so I decided to keep the baby. I work for my dad's company, and my fiance works at a country club, but money wasn't necessarily why I didn't want a baby. I just wanted to do more before I started a family. I spoke to my fiance about what he said, and at first he said he didn't even remember saying it because he was so drunk. And I believed that because he was. But then he said it was just a joke and it was meant as a compliment because I was so amazing. So I said, okay, good, because we're getting a prenup. I was joking, and I also just kind of wanted to see how he reacted. And he was pissed. He started going off on why the fuck he would sign a prenup, that we already had a baby, a house together, and that he would not sign one. How we wouldn't need one because we're never separating, and that me mentioning a prenup is insulting and emasculating. I never even felt threatened or anything like that, but he did make me feel uncomfortable. And he woke up our baby, so I told him he had to leave, which he did. The day after, I kicked him out. He sent me a long apologetic message about how it was out of character for him to get loud, in which it was. He never acted like that before. I replied saying I appreciate the apology, but I just needed a day or two to think everything through. The next day, he even sent a bouquet to the apartment. And Sunday, he sent me a booking confirmation of a massage he booked for me at the club and offered to come over to watch our son and cook dinner. Tonight, he sent me a message saying that I'm being an asshole and that I'm taking a meaningless joke to heart and that he's wasting money he could be saving for the wedding on a hotel. But now the things that went over my head before, I'm starting to think is sus. But breaking up my family over this doesn't seem right. Am I overthinking this or being an asshole? Do you want to hear the update first, or do you want to comment on it now?
My initial reaction is that the mood swings are very concerning.
Right.
Like, huge red flags. But yeah, I'm curious about the update.
Okay. So she said, answering a few questions, why did the joke bother me so much? Well, about a year ago, he had lost his job. He was never really clear. It was never really clear why, but for the next 3 to 4 months, he didn't do much. And he was saying he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do next. And that was the first time he brought up having kids, indicating that he was ready. We had a candid conversation on my part about how I want kids, just not right now. And I enjoy my job. I had trips planned and I wanted to be married first. And he agreed with me that we should wait around 3 to 4 years. My dad's company got a contract at the club, which is how he has a job there now. But during the time he was out of work, my friends would always joke that he's a stay-at-home boyfriend and that I'm the provider and that he'd be at stay-at-home dad too because I was paying the bills / rent by myself, which at the time didn't bother me because I used to live there by myself before we got together. It wasn't a big deal. But since then, I've been questioning it. And to be honest, I don't know how long the condoms were breaking for. A lot of people were telling me that they had never had them break. And I can't even remember saying it happened before. I noticed the first time it looked like it had a split in the middle and also the next time as well. That's when I decided to get an IUD. He didn't want me to, but I had stood my ground and he ended up compromising that I had got on the pill. I know we should have continued using condoms, but he said he had ran out and I'm on the pill, so I didn't need them. In hindsight, yes, I should have still insisted we use them, but I chose not to have that battle. I thought we'd be okay. He knew my opinion on abortion and that I wouldn't get one if I got pregnant and I would raise the baby unless it was for a medical reason. Money-wise, my family is successful. A lot of you asked. I work for my dad's company and I have 2 trust funds, one which I got at 18. Before I felt pregnant, I was still making plans to start my own house flipping business, but I decided to put that on hold. I still work from home on flexible hours, but he's told me that once we're married, he wants me to stop working completely because he wants me to focus on our kids and that he'd support us. But I'd never really liked that idea, mainly because although I've never had to worry about money, my parents always taught us the importance of financial stability. And my mom's always said to never be financially dependent on anyone. Plus, my fiance's current salary, I'm not sure would cover all of our expenses.
Oh, God, who cares?
There's another update still, though.
No more, please. I seriously.
Okay, so go ahead.
I honestly, I can't even keep. I can't fucking keep track.
Okay,
I don't give a shit about this.
Okay.
Seriously, I don't care.
What's the update? You have nothing to say?
No, fuck her. Seriously.
Fuck her?
Yeah, and her fucking pretentious trust fund. Oh,
she didn't even bring that up until the update.
No, it's not the point. I like, my parents always taught me to respect money, even though I'm wealthy. Fuck off. I don't care. Seriously, I'm frustrated. We're busy. I don't care about this lady. Seriously, it's annoying me. Okay. Sorry, it is. Go ahead, you guys give her whatever you want. I don't care.
No, it's okay. We can just
I acquiesce out of this. I bow out. I find her cunty. The way she wrote this is cunty. I'm serious. I apologize if you think I'm off base here, but
I had to hit a
no, it just because I can't stand people that relentlessly rant, even if it's trying to explain something. Because often what happens is they go out of their way to justify their positions, and they lose focus of the main issue. And I see this all the time too in pleadings and all sorts of stuff. Like people focus on the wrong things, and then they spend hours trying to get to a point, and they miss it. This bitch missed the point. Okay. If you don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, then fucking break up, okay? Because he's probably not going to change his beliefs, and you're not going to change yours, and you two just may not be compatible. There are plenty of people that's really what they want. I know people that are well-educated, that had careers, that stopped because they wanted to raise families, and they wanted to do that. And by the way, it doesn't matter man or woman. It just has to be what that person desires. If the person doesn't desire it, and the other one does, it's going to have problems in that marriage.
Right, but that wasn't the point.
I don't care what the point is.
That wasn't the point.
Well, I don't know. What's the point? I'm seriously, there's so much involved. I don't even know what's the issue.
The issue was that the boyfriend, she's realizing that he basically sabotaged all of her life, kind of.
No, he didn't. She's just taking it that way. No, he didn't.
No, he did.
No, okay. All right, I give up.
Was she accusing him of poking a hole in the condom?
Like ripping it because it was split. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And then...
she didn't notice this till it was too late?
No, she realized it was weird, and that's why she had insisted on getting an IUD instead. And he basically was like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And instead made her get on the pills.
Yeah. Well, I think she learned that the pill isn't effective the first month.
No, and I was reading the comments, and a lot of people were like, if he wanted to baby trap you how he said he did, and how he told her brother he did, if you put them in the microwave, they won't work, apparently. So he could have microwaved her pills, and they won't work.
How random is that? I've never heard that in my life.
Me neither, but people
they come in a little pack, like a sealed pack.
Yeah, so if you put that in the microwave, apparently, for like 2 minutes, your pills are ineffective.
The whole thing bursts into flames. Usually they're in foil.
I guess not. I don't know. But I don't know.
You know what else makes the birth control pill ineffective? Not taking them.
Well, she was taking them.
No, I'm talking about a certain cringy sister-in-law.
Oh, my God.
Kind of like baby trap someone else in the Bahamas. Just saying.
Oh, my God.
What?
But yeah, No, he's definitely the asshole. And I think she should leave him. I think that the whole thing is about him trying to control her. And just the whole thing to me was weird. Like, you met him, and a couple of weeks later, he found you on Instagram. And the whole thing just gives me weird vibes. Like, he seems very stalkerish. Yeah. And the whole thing is very like psychotic. Like, he's fine 1 second, he's trying to like love bomb her, and when he realizes it doesn't work, he turns into a whole different person.
Yeah, exactly. That's my main concern. Yeah, is that he's like, it's like kind of this abusive cycle of he's an asshole, and then he makes it up to her with the flowers and everything. And
exactly. Yeah. And the minute it still doesn't go his way, he's like, okay, well, fuck you, then you're an asshole. So yeah, no, I hope she leaves. I think I'm gonna give him 5. I'm not gonna give her any. So
yeah, I try to think, does she do anything asshole-ish in this? Yeah, not really. No. Yeah.
What was that question? Did she do what? Did she do anything to what?
Like asshole-ish in the situation?
Oh, yeah, she did. She didn't know her role.
There he is.
Really? Because he was a stay-at-home boyfriend with no job.
But that was then, but not anymore.
Yes, it is. Oh, she's paying the bill still.
Well, as she should. If she wants to keep, stay digmatized, that's what she needs to do.
Well, maybe he just wasn't that good.
Exactly. It gives little dick energy, what I'm hearing. So I'm like,
you women are so savage. Okay, fine. Hurricane.
Yes.
Just tell them where they can find us.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate all the support. Remember, you can find us on Instagram at the Bensama Confirm. You can find our podcast Instagram at the Lake Podcast. You can visit our Twitter and our TikTok at Bensama Confirm. You can visit our website at eblawfirm.us. You can email us at info@eblawfirm.us. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.